Good day, guys. I wanted to go over the final table of the super high roller here, the 100k, so let's get to it. Thankfully there are big blinds below the stacks as well. Hopefully that's not too loud. Turn it down a little bit. Get the headphones on. Dan Shaq with this 15 big blind jam versus second shorty on the table. Probably the bottom of your jamming range there as well, Jack 7-0. Not sure if you want to take Jack 6-0 there. Pretty aggressive open from the big stack, which you're probably going to see a lot of. A small betting in position, quarter pot probably. A little bit more. Check, check. Guess you can think about doing some small betting if you're Greenwood here, but in position should have a lot of King 10, King 9 as well. And even some better ace-X. Not much though. And it's pretty standard. I've just realized we don't have cards face up for the other players. It's just the heads up players. Interesting. Is this too loud as well, the sound still? And standard defend, check call. Going for the half pot size on Jack 4-3. I guess Big Blind has a lot of the wheel aces here as well that have a piece. Tough to go for value here as well, because David Peters should be playing a lot of checks as well still, with his ace-X there. Some check raising, not a lot. A bit of a spoiler with the cards here, because we see the face-up cards for those who are going to be in the mix, but not a big deal. And the setup here. And we're down to 7. Gonna see a shove here maybe. Really good spot to apply pressure. Hand with great equity. And Greenwood just can't call with a shack here. Wow. I would like to look at the payouts though at the top here, 212, 250. So I guess they're pretty flat payouts, but that's still pretty surprising. I'd imagine it's ace queen plus there, but and we could even look at that one later. But he's well aware of how wide he can get jammed on, I suppose. And the raise call for 10 total there. Still pretty close. I mean, you're slam dunk calling that for chips there, but even that one's relatively close with the ICM, but probably still a call. It's another cool hand we can look at. See the small 3-bet. A little bit more than 3x. And I think some good combos to use as a 3-bet bluff there for 30 effective. Button big blind are going to be some just block combos like King 5 offsuit, King 4 offsuit, even some Queen 5 offsuit. And easy raise call. It's also pretty tough for Bonomo to have a flatting range there in the small blinds. With the ICM set up, there's not going to be a heap of flatting, so yeah, it's kind of tough not to play a jam with the aces there. I would muck the sevens here. Greenwood thinking about it. Wow. Pretty gamble heavy, Greenwood. I mean, it could be a combination of the flat powered so and it being relatively top heavy. I mean, we have 17x up top, 2.5x, 3.2, 4.8, 7.6. Maybe that's the reasoning. But it seemed a little bit unnecessary, a little bit at the bottom there. Checking with the ace high. Any small betting here? Goes to the half pot Dan Shack. Got a 3 SPR. Kind of weird going for 3 streets here though. So that's how I imagined even some flop checking is good. You're not going to see much C betting from hijack on the 967. So that's why I aim to check back the 8 shove. Go for the 2.8 for 20 here with the Queen Jack O. Ooh, I love this small 3 bet. Damn. That's gorgeous poker. King 6-0 from the chip leader Dan Shack. If it's going to be anyone opening that, the chip leader makes sense. Go for a half pot C bet. And lays it down. I think the size up is a little bit unnecessary. I think like small is usually good in that spot. Good combo to raise up from Justin here as well. I mean, the deuce X combos are really good to raise from a big blind because small blind doesn't limp in with as much deuce X in their range. And if I'm Justin here, I think I'm just giving up on this board. You can maybe one and done it, but you just have like 0 equity here. And you block the calling range, you block the folding range from small blind there. You want small blind to have hands like 8, 9, 7, 8. So I think having the 8 is not that good as well. I wouldn't mind seeing a hand like 4 deuce, 5 deuce. We'll check back the ace-9 here, I imagine. I mean, bet folding can't be bad as well. Maybe bet folding is good because with the ace-9, you're just going to be folding on so many turns anyway. But I guess David Peters will be exercising a lot of checking with top pairs on this board as well, given how shallow Linus is. Oh, he might get bluffed here by ace high. Because David should still have some, you know, king, queen, king 10 with a club, ace highs with a club. If he has ace 9 of spades, he's going to have, wow. I mean, he does have like, it's pretty tough to turn second pair into a bluff there. But that may have been a spot for a, just because you're beating so many third pairs that are going to bet from big blind, even worse 9x. So the raise and the C bet with total air from Dan. He's got the gutter. Bink. Might just play the jam here, yeah. It's pretty awkward, the stacks here, a lot of draws out there. But maybe a hand just to fold pre-flop even as a chip leader here. This is a pretty aggressive table so far, pretty active. You can see a check back here a bunch as well, I think. Don't love facing a check raise. Actually, even another spot here with the ace-3 is pretty interesting. Maybe it plays better as a flop C, but... the cards keep disappearing. And the small bet doesn't do much there. Shove the a6 suited, I imagine. I mean, he's not going to min-raise it. So I guess it's a bit of a spoiler seeing the cards. He's not going to min off like 12. Interesting size of the 8.6. Surprised he didn't go like the 4.5 big blinds. So he can raise fold to like 2 rejams. You chop it. Sticking with the min. Not a hand you ever want to 3-bet from the big. Off 22 at least. Let's see the quarter pot c-bet. Check call. Not a card you want to barrel with no equity with the ace-8. If you're going to bet the turn with ace-8 though, you're just going to usually be firing river. I'm not super sure about it. Not a river to bluff now, because now you're not... Now king 10, king jack, king 9, king 8. And never mucking on that run out. Pretty surprising turn barrel though. Since bottom I should still have all the king, queen, king, jack, king 10. We have 8 big blinds. That was an open and a jam, was it? My bad. And spiking the jack. Down to 6 players. They can use it as a 3-bet and a call. I think it's better to use as a call in late position though. Usually you want to 3-bet the king queen in early position with more players behind you to act. The good thing about flatting on the cutoff is you just dominate a lot of the offsuit opening range from hijack. Going multi-way, these are fun spots. Multi-way spots are very tricky. Checks around. Michael gonna come out with a small bet here at all. Goes for the check. I mean, Bonham shouldn't have a heap of jack-kicks in this spot. Like, ace-jack is not finding too many checkbacks. Jack 10 suited will be in there. Jack 9 suited probably folding pre. Not a bad bluff catch with the ace 10 here. Blocking the flushes and straights. Don't mind that at all. We're gonna come in with the limp, the shove, or the min. The min. Okay, for 15. And I guess the flat with a7 suited, the reasoning is Michael can come out and be, I suppose, not the most loose, but like the least ICM pressure is on him, so he can play like close to how he would usually play a chippy V setup with jacks here for 15. So he's going to have, you know, not a super tight range here. But let's pretend Dan, Shaq, and Bonomo both had like 15 big blinds as well. The range would be a little bit different. Would be more polar. I don't think it's as polar for 15 here. We're gonna go with the check shove. Check min raise. So, well, I like the check on the flop just because in positions range, it's just going to be really tight here as well. But the check min raise is interesting. I would have thought check shove or check call. Just because you're not going to be drawing to... Like, in position won't have as many overcards here. Like, king, queen won't be playing many barrels, I don't think. Gets in with a gutter. I don't really understand the turn jam. I don't think Michael's going to check raise better ace-x combos and check call. Like, ace-queen isn't coming with the check raise there. So I guess the reasoning is trying to just deny equity from high cards like king-queen. But even that is quite surprising. Wow, nice combo to use as a shove there. Now stacks are evening out. 21, 22, 36, 17, and 27. Justin opening the ace-king suited with the 2.1x with less Andes in the middle. Michael defending. The minimum, 1 big blind. Can probably play a check back as well with the ace-king suited. You can mix this one for sure. I would probably lean towards checking a little bit more, just because you don't love getting into these spots in any ICM scenario. But then again, if you're just checking back always with this hand, you're just giving away too many turn cards for big blind. Michael doesn't want to barrel air on a turn, and check, I imagine, on the river a bunch. I'll grab some water quickly. Luckily my camera's not blocking too much. Oh, standard spot here. Raise, shove, and 10s hold for Bonomo. GG Dan. We're going to see Bonomo with a 3-bet here. Not a bad hand to use, but second and chips, we might see it. Although probably not amazing. The shallower you get, you'd want to use more blocker heavy combos as a 3-bet when you get this shallow for 30 effective. What size are we going to see? We're going to see a check back here with the backdoor clubs. I guess it's a board that connects well with big blind, the 7-8. You have a lot of cards that wrap around that. Gut shots, pairs. I mean, Bonomo should be defending all these king X here, being chip leader as well. Surprising no turn barrel from Bonomo, because Michael should still have a lot of ace highs. I mean, Michael has to double delay bluff hands like Queen Jack, Queen 10 here. I don't know, yeah. I mean, I guess they have to bluff. Those are the combos he would pick if he's gonna bet that river. Double delay up. Pretty aggressive open here from Michael. I mean, you're gonna have the most ICM pressure on you here with 35 bigs. You don't want to call a jam from either shorter here. Bonomo could be 3-betting a bunch. I would just fold the Jack 10 pre here. Maybe a card Michael wants to start bluffing, but it's pretty tough in the flush completer multi-way. Just because Bonomo should be pretty suited as well in the small blind, and David Peters has all the flushes in the big blind. Or has the most flushes, I should say. What is Bonomo going to bluff here, though? Like, is he going to delay bet ace, queen, ace of diamonds, ace 7, ace 8, ace of diamonds? It's pretty baller. I'm not sure Michael wants to open the ace 7, ace 8 offsuit in that spot anyway. That's a strong bluff. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure you want to lay bet the ace, queen, ace of diamonds much though. And the ace 7, ace 8 seems marginal in that ICM setup, so interesting spot there. Good bluff, it worked. And the fours hold, 3 hand. This is going really fast. This is easy stuff. 64 hands in. Shove, jam, fold. I don't quite understand the 8 big blind open. Why not put in half your stack and give yourself a chance if they somehow run it heads up? Because you can't really stop and go from a 4x open if you're Bonomo though. And we're heads up. Might be a long one. What's going to be the size here? 4x, 4.5x, 3.5? What are we looking at, Bonomo? We're going for the shove. Interesting. It's so tough to fold a7 here. The shove is just like so capped. I mean, I'm surprised ace queens are part of the jamming range. Throw shit on him. Interesting jam. Raise, 3-back shove, or raise jam, call. What are we going to see here? I think Bonomo's just always ripping here. I would only play like deuces through 6s this way as well. Plays the call. And just absolutely cool as him. I mean, 3 is a hand that flops really poorly. And off this SPI, I would just usually play the shove there, pre-flop, but plays the call in position. And I guess you just jam now? I can't imagine the call will be that bad either, since Michael can have, you know, some like king 5 suited type holdings there that are drawing pretty thin. King jack offsuit, a really good hand just to play as a call. Well, that's a nice flop. Alright, nice to see putting money in the middle here. Pretty tough to continue with 8s, no diamonds. Still pretty tough in my opinion. A lot of bad rivers. We see a block bet here. 1.5 big blinds. What if we're going to see a barrel here with the 10 high? Oh, he's got a bottom pair, sorry. Yeah, pretty interesting turn card. Never seeing a fold. Ten of spades. Are we going to see a bluff from Bonomo here? Wouldn't be a bad combo. You still have all the queen 10s, the 10 7s. You still have all the 10x of spades here. Puts 8.6 big blinds and gets called by the 3. That's some brave shit right there. Wow. That's a really strong call. Check, check. You want to start thinking about putting money in the middle here if you're Michael. King high is usually not going to cut it versus check back range here. And you do have the open ender to go with it. Interesting. Delay bet from the king 10. I guess I'm just over checking back the spot. I guess I wonder how many two pair combos big blinds checking the turn with that. And maybe Bonomo recognizes he now has a turn king eye until bluff. Damn. Are we getting the same hand again, or? We are. That was weird. No, we're not. What the fuck? King of spades, 10 of hearts. King of spades, 10 of hearts. King of hearts, 8 of clubs. No way they just got the same exact hand. That is fucking mental. That is mental. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'd like a c-bet from the king 10 here. I guess you can play this either way, check raise and call. Now does Bonomo want to start bluffing with the weaker flush draw? Pretty tough to find the value raise here. Might just be value owning yourself. Goes for it though. I guess he doesn't expect Bonomo to see bet the flop with many ace of heart combos. Like I think he expects all offsuit ace x combos to check back pretty often on that board. Anyway, gets the call. We're now 40 effective. The raise and 7-4 off and stand defend. Half pot c-bet. Are we going to give up with no equity here? I imagine so. Let's just airball 3 streets with 7 high. Can we find a value bet here? I think so. Shouldn't be much ace x, imposition checks back on the turn. No action, of course. Small c-bet. Playing the draw aggressively. Get yourself in a pretty awkward spot here. With the 10 of spades, so we're going to see Michael do any potting here. Check, check. They've both done some bluff catching versus each other. Limp, check, bet, call. Again, it's tough to barrel with 0 equity on the turn, so I imagine it always goes check here. Now as bottom, am I going to start over bluffing this spot? No. This is good. Be funny to see like a 2x pot there. No way, the bet delay bet, hey. I mean, the turn card isn't that scary, so... I mean, Michael's repping a 9 there. How much Jack X is he checking back? I guess he can check back his worst Jack X on the turn, like Jack 4-0, for example. And the check pre with the King 10-0, and the check back with top pair with the backdoor flush draw. And the double check. A little bit surprising. I mean, the double check should contain even a lot of ace of heart, king of heart combos. I'm not even sure about this value bet. I'm not sure about that value bet. I think you're going to play... I think Bonomo should be playing a lot of his high card combos as checks as well. Raise, defend. Are we going to see a small bet here? We are for a quarter. Check call. I just want to just fast forward here because he's always check calling. Check check and check check. No, we see a value bet. For a quarter pot. But Bonomo is going to run... Ooh. We see the value raise there. Man. Some beret value raising. Have to see 10-6 suited being a fold here in position. Now, how are you going to play this one, Bonomo? Pretty awkward spot. You could probably be fine with a check call here as well. A lot of Jack X should connect with Michael's limp calling range. You don't really want to bloat this with some shutdown value. Possibly some leading on this turn as well from Justin. Any small betting here? Because you imagine Michael value bets all of his Jack X in a river, so he does give it a small bet, right? 3.6 big blinds, yeah. Went for the block. I like that. Min defend. Maybe some check raising from big blinds here. We get it. Nice play. Well, stacks are evening out. They're dead even now. We saw Bonomo check back a similar board last time with Queen Deuce of Hearts. On the high, low, low backdoor flush draw. Does the same now. Guess the check raise. Interesting. I mean, the 8 is a really nice card to have. But I wonder if check calling is just as good here. I guess what we're seeing is a lot of spots that you could really go either way in. We're seeing both players take a more aggressive line usually. How's Bonomo going to play the ace side? Check back here on the Jack 10 low. Tough to bluff any other cards here. Seems like a good combo to use as a bet. We see a small bet. I guess small bet makes sense because big blind still has all the straights and two pairs, and top pairs for that size, and a lot of flushes. Goes for the small. I'm a fan of this sizing. Just trying to fold out king high and ace high from Bonomo, but he does get the call down. Bonomo bluff catching against the 4-5, 5-8. Some high-low queen of spade combos. And pretty standard so far. I wonder if Bonomo keeps barreling with just a gutter, no diamond on the pairing here. Can't imagine he does, but it is Bonomo. Might see some potting. If you're going to do any betting, it should be big betting, I guess. Keep it pretty polar on that turn card. Are we going to see the value bet? We are. For more than half pot. No fucking way. We see the check shove, the 4-5 blocker, the queen of diamonds. Brave, beautiful poker. Love it. That was really neat. Turn the heater off. My leg's burning. So Party Poker hosted the 100k here. I've got 50 runners, down to 2. I don't know what the starting stacks were. I think 1 million. Oh, no, that can't be true. There's only 14 million in play. And I missed the action here. I missed the action. He folds trips here. Holy crap. Let me just rewind the action here. It was a limp pre. Check. Bet, call, over bet. Wow. Went for like the 5.5x pot. Repping the flush. 5x of hearts. Wow. I guess Michael was just saying, well, I can call with flushes here instead. But so many flush draws are betting turn from you, so I don't know if I can fold the jack deuce there. This is some crazy poker. Small bet from Bonomo for a big blind. No, he checks back this time with a second pair. And pretty clear value bet for Michael, just unfortunately he runs into it here. I can't believe this is even a value raise. Like, big blind gets there with so many river 2 pairs right now. Still has queen 10 as a check raise, even on the turn. But it worked. He got called as well. Well, this is always going in. I wonder if we're going to see a 3x here or just a shove. We did see the min raise from Michael with jacks earlier for 15. It goes to the 2.8. Limp shove. Just limp calls the 9, so I guess he's just sort of recognizing that Michael's raising range is going to be super polar here and be like a lot of queen 5, queen deuce, king deuce type stuff. So he's really going to have 2 overcards to Bonomo's limp here. And pretty center post flop. I like the call with 9s. And back up to 32 and 25. Well, top pair for Michael. Doesn't find the check back. Can't blame him. With a jack-high flush, still vulnerable. Just always has to play it as a raise. We see the 3.1x. How does Michael continue here with a shove or a call? I would call personally. Well, a bit of insurance. Well, this jack doesn't really do anything if you're Bonomo. Maybe Michael has a hand like King Jack Ace Jack with the heart that you're happy about. Wow, just finds its home fold when straight's complete now. The offsuit King 7 coming with an open. Do we want to start c-betting here? These are pretty awkward flops, aren't they? You have ace high, king high. Probably don't love betting with not much equity when you can just barrel with a bunch of hands with equity. Gutters, open-enders, flush draws. Oh, Bonomo, you're going to start bluffing here or not? Goes for value bet. It's just so thin, so beautiful. They're both playing really good poker. See the 4x this time. What are we going to see here? I could probably see a good amount of checking as well and quarter pot betting. Bonomo with the ruthless float. And how do you play the queen high here? Now it's pretty awkward, isn't it? Bonomo wanting to bluff rivers here. Alright. I mean, that's how you make your hand look as strong as possible, right? By checking the turn. Saying you've got showdown value. And he bets 11 big blinds. And gets called by the queen high. This is just some great poker. Michael had the queen jack of diamonds, wasn't blocking any heart combos that could float as well, so that's pretty neat. This might go in. Shove, fold. Maybe it's a really bad turn card for Michael. He has so many queens instead here, like queen 8, queen 10, queen 9, queen jack even. Gets the call. And the West Valley Gem. So tempting here, isn't it? I mean, they're both capable as well, so it's so tough to find the fold. Coming in with the limp jam or limp call. How are we going to play the suited ace here? Limp call more often, I think. Bottom are just drilling it. So we'll quickly turn this light on. How'd the flop go? Check, check. No. Oh, back up to 25 apiece. Stand defend. We can see any C betting with the weak second pair here on a draw heavy board. No, we're not. Pretty odd one with a jack 4 here. Pretty odd one. I guess you're getting value from A6, A7, Ace deuce. Can see some value betting for Bonomo. Like, no way. He just does it as well. Like, what the fuck? He just does it. Well, always check raising the top pair of this stack depth, at least I am. Goes to the check call though. I guess not blocking any of the draws from imposition from barreling. Diamonds, 9x, 8x. Well, it's a pretty interesting turn value bet. Oh, sorry, he's got 2 pairs, totally standard, and he gets counterfeited on the river. Unfortunate. Blue versus blue. Good hand to check. Check, bet, call. Check, check or no? Bottom are going for the bet. Bink. No leading here. It's tough because Michael reaches the river a lot of 2 pairs and straights. Jack 10, Queen Jack, Jack 9, 10, 9, Queen 10. But Bonomo wanted to fold just a 9. Jam, call. And just like that's it's all over. How does hand go down? Let me just replay quickly. 17 big blinds, limp, shove, call. Okay. And just like that. Mercevich bubbling as well. Damn. Well, GG to Bonomo. I want to thank BCP Poker Replays for providing this. Pretty cool channel. I recommend checking them out, guys. Easy to read format. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, here we are. ALLinPav on Twitter. You might like the content, you might not, but there I am. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hit the sub button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.